In his office at Scotland Yard, Superintendent Allison listened attentively to the voice on the telephone, then said, "Please tell the Archbishop he can depend on us here at Scotland Yard. I shall be sending our top detective, DCI Sax Coburg, to St. Paul's immediately." With that, he hung up, then dialed the internal number for Detective Chief Inspector Coburg's office. It was answered by D.S. Lampson. "D.S. Coburg's office?" said Lampson. "This is Superintendent Allison. Please ask the Chief Inspector to come to my office. Is he there?" "Yes, sir." "Then I need to see him at once." He hung up, and shortly afterwards there was a knock on his door. Then the figure of Chief Inspector Edgar Sax Coburg walked in. "You wanted to see me, sir?" "Yes, I've just had an urgent call from Lambeth Palace. There's been a tragic incident at St. Paul's Cathedral. The dead body of one of the cathedral's senior choristers has been found in the crypt. The implication is he was murdered. It needs to be investigated with the utmost care and discretion. I've suggested you be the investigating officer." "Thank you, sir. Have the local police attended?" "No. Lambeth Palace feel this case requires a more senior level." "Usually, sir, the local force are the first called, and they decide whether Scotland Yard needs to be summoned," Coburg pointed out. "That may be, but this is St. Paul's Cathedral, Chief Inspector, which comes under the remit of the Archbishop of Canterbury. They are particularly worried about negative publicity. They have avoided informing the local police for fear of them, in turn, informing the press and word of this leaking out." "Why are they so concerned about that happening?" "I'm sure they will tell you their reasons when you see them," said Allison. "I've told them you'll be with them immediately. They have reserved a parking place for you beside the cathedral steps." As they approached the cathedral, their car winding up the hill towards the magnificent white building with its distinctive dome dominating the skyline of the City of London, Lampson commented, "Amazing it's still standing, considering how many times it's been hit by the bombing rate." "That's thanks to the St. Paul's Watch," said Coburg. He was referring to the small army of volunteers, most of them staff at the cathedral, who were tasked with protecting St. Paul's. Coburg remembered reading a magazine article about them. Effectively, the Watch was the cathedral's own fire brigade. St. Paul's was particularly at risk from the bombing because of the ancient timbers supporting the dome, and indeed the whole cathedral. The incendiary bombs dropped by the Luftwaffe burst into flames on impact. Coburg remembered newspaper reports about the heaviest raid on the cathedral to date on the 29th of December 1940. Around 28 bombs had hit St. Paul's that night, and all were dealt with by the Watch. Some of the incendiaries had even settled in the roof timbers, and the volunteers had crawled along smouldering beams to put out the flames.